Okay, so now we're talking about the color purple. So yeah, I really like the color purple. It's got some reddish in there and some blue. It's a nice color, isn't it? No. Okay, we're actually talking about the movie, The Color Purple, directed by who else? Steven Spielberg. And so this movie's pretty interesting because it's Steven Spielberg's first real dramatic movie. He's done some comedies, action. He pretty much done most genres of movie until this movie. He had never really directed a full on drama before this one. And although this one probably isn't his best movie ever, I think it was important because he even said himself that this was a movie that kind of helped him to become the director that would be to direct Schindler's List, which a lot of people consider to be his best. So, with that said, let's talk about this movie. So, the beginning of the movie is very dramatic, very sad part. But as the movie goes on, it doesn't feel as uh, it doesn't feel that way exactly. And I thought the whole movie would be a very sad movie, but it was only like that in the beginning. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but I just thought I'd point that out. Yeah, most of the most dramatic stuff happens in the very beginning of the movie. But anyway, so the movie is about uh, this girl, and like I said, her life is pretty rough in the beginning. She has a couple babies, very young, like 14. This, she had two, so one was probably younger than that. She was probably like 12. They both were taken away from her. Um, then she was forced to marry this very abusive guy at 14. And then her sister, who was basically the last person in her life, is taken away from her. And that's just the first like 15 minutes of the movie. So, yeah. So the beginning, I did like the beginning. Like I said, very dramatic and everything. But then the rest of the movie, there was a lot of scenes where I don't feel like many things really mattered, and things were just kind of happening. Like the whole movie's about her whole life, and if you have a movie about someone's life, and there needs to be one thing that really ties it all together. Like take Forrest Gump for example. That's a movie about his whole life, but one thing is kind of tying it all together, and that's Jenny. And in this movie, I guess you could say her sister ties most of the stuff together, but there's a large chunk in the middle where she has nothing to do with the plot, and things are just happening. And sometimes you're like, this is kind of interesting, but this doesn't have much to do with the rest of the movie. Whoopi Goldberg, Oprah, Oprah Winfrey, they were both really good in the movie, and this was also the first time both of them had ever acted in a movie. And so for the first time of them ever acting, that's really good because Whoopi Goldberg was just like a comedian before this, and Oprah just did her talk show or whatever she did before this. So that's pretty cool. And Danny Glover, I don't know how to say his name. He was good in the movie too, I guess. So yeah. There's also a lot of it's a Steven Spielberg movie. You know it's gonna look good, but there's a lot of nice, long, wide shots, which I really like. There's a lot of those in this movie. There's a few pretty good scenes in this movie though. There's the scene where she's shaving her husband, and it's cut in with this like tribal ritual thing from Africa. I don't know how to explain it, but that scene is really intense, and it's actually it was a really good scene. Probably my favorite scene in the whole movie. Uh, Yes, that's a good scene. I also like the scene where she just goes off on everybody. If you haven't seen the movie, it's not really a spoiler, but you might want to. If you plan on seeing the movie, you might want to skip a little bit here. But the scene where the whole movie, she's a pretty quiet person. She's really shy, and then in one of the later scenes in the movie, she just explodes on everybody, tells everybody how it is. Uh, that scene's pretty cool. And then the very end scene where she's reunited with her sister. Those were all nice scenes. But other than that, the movie, it had good parts. There were good things about it. But overall, it was okay. Um, so there's good parts, like some really good parts, and then other parts were just, "Ugh." So I really feel like this probably was better as a book. I mean, I don't know. I never read the book. I've never read a book before. Well, anywho, I'm not even gonna go into that. But I'm gonna give the movie an 8. I don't recommend it to most people. I mean, I could see people could like this movie. I could see people really liking it. I could see people thinking it was really boring, but I don't know. It was a fine movie. Well, that's all I really have to say about The Color Purple. So thank you for watching this, and I'll see you the next time.